Hello and welcome to another new arrivals. So let's start with this episode with a big thanks to AR Tools on Instagram that sent me a box of goodies, so to say. A really nice gift of tools, and we'll go over those, and we can start with the USA Vera set. So this is the small set with a bottle opener and the Phillips number 2 screwdriver. So we have the red and blue with a white star. And this is a limited edition set like the others. So I have shown the Swedish one and the Finnish one previously. And then we have another of the limited edition country sets, and this is the Canada set with the bottle opener and the Robertson's number 2 screwdriver in red and white. And yeah, I don't know, colors on camera is always hard, but I don't really think this is the Canadian red. It looks a lot lighter than it should be, but yeah, it's the same thing with the USA set. It's not really American flag blue, and I think this is just an effect of they use the colors that they have. So that was the sets that he sent, and then he also sent these two limited edition bottle openers. So we have the Class agricultural equipment limited bottle opener, and the Oranje Dutch national football team, or Netherlands national football team bottle opener. And this one is interesting because it has a made by Vera. All the other ones just have, and well, the ones that are sold as Veras, of course, but this Class one and just has the Vera. And then he sent two more bottle openers, and it was these two. So we can start with the most interesting one, the Witte. One, and I have another Witte previously, the Echo handle, and this one is the Pro handle, I think. And the one thing that annoys me with this is that it's not inserted in alignment to the handle. So this is the only way it aligns right for me, and I think I would prefer it if it aligned that way. It would feel more natural. So yeah, it just seems to be inserted strangely. And then we have the Quinn, and for those not in the know, Quinn is the house brand of Swedish US budget retailer Harbor Freight, and so this is just a cheap one, so to say. It's not as cheap when it's sent over the Atlantic Ocean, but it's not a premium brand one, but I still really like it because it's an US market only thing, so it's quite fun to have here on the other side of the Atlantic. And that was the bottle openers that he sent, and we can go on to the stubby screwdrivers instead. We have the SK Tools Phillips number 2, this green hard handle. Fun design. It feels a bit old, but this one I think is a brand new one, so this is how they're still sold. Really long shank and short handle. And the Husky, again, not a super special brand, but US market only, or North American market at least, I don't know. So fun to have in the collection still. And this is interesting with a square shaft for a Phillips driver. Nice little acetate handle one. And continuing on with screwdrivers, he also sent this Pickwick set in nice yellow. So we have the 6-pack plus and the stubby. The stubby uses, I guess this is around 30 millimeters bits instead of the regular 1 inch 25 millimeter bits. I don't know the length of these, but they are longer than the regular socket, a regular bit. So if we just compare it to a normal bit, we can see, yeah, that should be around 30 millimeters. I don't know what that is in inches, but they work. It works with the regular bits also, but the included ones are these extra long ones, and you switch them out through the handle. And using one bit to push the other one out is really the only way to change them out without using a tool. So if you lose one bit, you have to replace it, even if it's not the bit size you need, or you can just leave, of course, one slot empty, but you have to have the extra bit in order to get the new one out. But it's neat. A bit big for stubby, and so, but with the integrated storage, I think that's motivated. And lovely yellow color. And it doesn't says on this one, but these are Canadian made, as most Pickwick drivers, but I think the bits are Taiwan made. And no, they don't say Canadian made anywhere on them, but the packaging said it. So, and this is the bigger one, and it works with like E-type bits, but not regular. I can't remember which, but this kind of bits, regular bits, sits a bit too deep for it to be good, although they work. But again, the included ones are special Pickwick bits that has to be replaced by their own if you want it to look exactly the same. A regular 50 millimeter bit wouldn't work in this, or I guess it would hold, but you couldn't push them through in the same way. But still, I think it's a good little driver with integrated storage. Nice item. And continuing on with the screwdrivers, he also sent this roll gear, which is the Gearless ratcheting screwdriver, or I guess it's not really ratcheting since it's not a ratchet mechanism, it's gearless, but yeah. And the thing with these gearless ones is the back drag. As you can see, there's very little back drag. This one says Canadian made also, and it comes with special bits again, also these double-ended ones that you change out the same way. And by pushing one through, and again, it doesn't really work with the regular bits. They sit way too deep, so we can see how deep this one sits. So it would just be the tip that would poke out if you use regular bits, but you could use long bits. Well, this is a bit holder, but you understand if you use this kind of bit. And again, it's a neat driver with integrated storage. Shame on the proprietary bits, but that can be lived with. And let's see. Yes, we have the vessel bit holder, and he's told me that this one is an American market. The ones I have is Japanese market, so they work with a Japanese style of offset on the dimple here, like it's higher up on the Japanese bits. But this one is US market, so should work with US style. And yeah, I guess there's less flop, or how to say, less play when it holds this. And perhaps I should get my Japanese markets once and we'll check. And speaking of bits, let's look at this one. So this is the Malco double-ended nut driver. So what we have is a outer sleeve with 8 and 10 millimeter size nut drivers, and this inner sleeve with a retainer and a magnet. So if you put it on this way, you have a 10 millimeter, and you can see that it offsets slightly in order for it to sit, the screw to sit slightly deeper, and you can just swap it out. And then you have an 8 millimeter with a magnet retaining, and this one is really appreciated. I think I will use this for mounting plastic roof or metal roof also. Sheet screws. We use 10 millimeter on most sheet screws here in Sweden. And 10 millimeter is always good to have also as that combo. Let's see. Yes, then the last item. And this might look a bit odd, just a single little socket. But this one is the one thing I really asked of him, that I wanted him to get me. And it is a 7 millimeter socket for my incomplete SK tool set. And now it's complete. Nice. And I think there is some evidence of that these are not made exactly the same period. You have slightly different stampings, but the part numbers are the same and such, so it goes really well in the set anyway, I'd say. So huge thanks for that. Not that I use the 7 millimeter, but it feels better to have a complete set. I think most people would agree. And let's see. Yes, I think that's everything from AR. And then we can go over to my own order from Amazon Japan. And I got some other stuff that's not tool related, so it was kind of a smaller tool order. But we have these Sonuda zip tie pliers, and so many channels and different has shown them off now, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say that I too got them, as it seems that everybody has gotten them now. And what you have is the gripping area for pulling zip ties and the cutting area for cutting them flush. And yeah, seems really well made, really nice. Happy with those. And more from Japan, I got these two vessel striking cap Phillips screwdrivers. So number 2 and number 1. Nice purple color. Also Japanese made. And more from Japan. I got another Tashima Snaplane knife. I got this, I don't know if it was last video or the one before that, but previously, and wasn't that happy with it. It's not bad, it's just cheap and plastic. So I got another Tashima to try out, and It's really the same. You can see it's the same, basically the same mechanism. It's just this push button that's a bit different, but it's the similar stamped steel. No, it's not the same. It has the anyway, it's not that big a difference. And this one didn't impress me much either, and I guess I really have to buy one of the higher price tier ones in order to get something that's high quality. But I still think that these are kind of a shame because they're not that much more cheaper than a Ulta, and those are, I would say, are better for the price. This one didn't even come with the blade. And yeah, 2 more Japan items. These Phillips #2 double-ended vessel bits. And here you can see what I meant, that the Japanese have them offset. Even though these are double-ended, it's still this offset that they use instead of this offset. And if we try this one out, you can see if it even works. Oh, no. It doesn't grip this other offset. So here we can see what I couldn't detect with the other bit. This one doesn't work with the Japanese offset, while the Japan market one does. So yeah, you were right, AR. It wasn't any difference noticeable with a different bit, but now the difference is clear. You have to have a Japanese market one for these Japanese style bits. And also the last Japan items, more keychains, and these level ones in blue. They're the same, although in blue and in red, and it seemed slightly different revisions or something like that, because they was bought at the same item but it's differently made. This one is one piece and this one has some sort of casting line. Ebisu Diamond is the brand, and they're supposed to be fully functional levels. I don't know about, like they have an accuracy specification and everything, so not just a neat item but also functional. So I want to get the Stabila keychain also, but I haven't been able to find it really. And let's see, yes, the last item, I bought this from Japan, although it's not a Japanese tool. This is a Signet bottle open wrench, and Signet is not like a quality brand or anything, it's just a general Chinese distributor. But the fact that it's a 10mm wrench and a bottle opener just was enough for me, actually, I guess. So I added it to the collection. It's a shame it has this blue finish instead of a normal chrome, and it's haven't survived perfectly. There is already some scratches. Like this kind of, if you ever bought cheap wrench sets that has these color markings, you know how terrible they often are. It flakes off and gets everywhere. Let's see, that's the Japanese item. Some other new items. Continuing bottle openers, the PB Swiss one. Of course I had to have that one in the collection. And this is the PB Swiss handle in the acetate version. I think this is one of 2 bottle opener styles they have. They have an all metal one also that's not tool inspired, just a bottle opener. So this one is the one I went for. And other new items, Hultafors, German made Phillips #2 screwdriver. This is their new line of screwdrivers they have been promoting lately. And yeah, it seems like a decent screwdriver. round handle, not my favorite with hanging hole, but nothing to complain about. And I'm not sure right now who makes these for them. I can't remember, but I don't think it's Sola. Oh, I can't remember right now, sorry. On with other items. Let's go on to the other stubbies and start with a Klein one. This is their, I guess they call it 6-in-1, with 2 bits with 4 ends and 2 nut drivers. But but for me as a European, these nut drivers are imperial and therefore useless. So it's just a 4-in-1, I guess. But this is mainly for the collection, I guess. I think it will end up. Still a neat little... It is a good item. Imagine if they could offer this with 8 and 10 millimeters, or 7 and 8 would work also. It would be something that's worth having for non-American markets. But that's not the case right now. So this is 3/16. I guess this is regular 1/4 inch, yeah. Or is that the slotted driver size? Or is that the same as the... Oh, I don't know. I guess it's both the slotted size and the hex size. Vera ESD bit holder. So I think it's funny that they use the yellow one both for ESD and for the impacting ones, striking ones. But yeah, that's how it is. Just a regular bit holder that's ESD safe. And one of the rest of my snap-on order from previously, the stubby, I went for green because that's what I did. And yeah, it's a neat little snap-on stubby. Again, surprisingly cheap actually. This is not my most expensive stubby in the collection, even though the snap-on reputation, despite the snap-on reputation, so to say. And then we're down to the used items. I think we've talked about anything else. So just Seger, original Seger, Snaplane Pliers, German made, J11. So J is the internal ones. The first one is the bent nose, and the last one is the size. I can't remember exactly which size range the ones means right now, but yeah, just a neat old pair of Snaplane pliers that I picked up, and also this Falcom 3/8 round head. Not the best of conditions, unfortunately. A bit of rust on it and some real chrome damage here. But still, it completes my set of the all round heads, with the 1/4 inch being the one in really good condition. And I think this was interesting how the 3/8 and 1/2 inch sizes are the same. And I think that's a testament to how 3/8 sizes were handled in Europe previously. You can see, like, it's basically just a 1/2 inch head that they reduced in size. So instead of having the 3/8 being a smaller ratchet, they said that let's just remake this as much tooling as possible and make it the same size as the 1/2 inch one. So it's just makes the handle shorter and lighter, but it's no reduction in head size. Fun decision there. But that's the last item, and thanks for watching.